First off, we will need a context. This unit is taught as part of the MYP technology course at my school. The bird's eye view is that my students worked on solving a problem we identified earlier in the year. I have used the International Society for Technology and Education's National Educational Technology Standards for Student Outcomes, as well as those of the IB MYP Tech program. For the purpose of this presentation, I will focus on the former. Context 2. As part of my introduction to the Responsible Use at Disk Online Responsible Use Agreement, here I should stop and thank Brendan for his huge contribution to our earlier shareware version we made for schools as part of this course. Regardless, we discovered that all of the middle school students use the internet and publish online. However, none of them had ever actually had a conversation with a teacher or caregiver about how to do so responsibly. So from A, we went to B, which took us naturally here, to C. Web design and online responsibility. I'm going to start off here by breaking a rule of good presentations as outlined by some in favor of the advice of another, and read my points off to foreshadow the content. I'm going to go through the goals, tools used, student reaction, outcomes and evidence of learning so far, reflection, the sharing I plan on doing here at the school, and then finish it all off with a word or two about redefinition. Well, here you see a pan of my Understanding by Design planner, a copy of my NETS-informed rubric, and some starter questions. Let me start off with an infographic I made some time ago. I may be preaching to the choir here, but the use of technology is meant to increase learning outcomes across the curriculum. It's about sharing, collaboration, self-directed, meaningful action, enhancing learning and doing new things, creation, working without boundaries of space, sharing and building on the work of others. Mainly, it's about connectivism. These are a lot of the goals that I use when I set out on any new unit. I chose to use a variety of tools. Students use Google Drive for sharing with their classmates at New International School Thailand. I tell you, a better way to collaborate across time and space? Arguably there is not. We used Weebly, which I have written about at length in a previous blog post, simply the easiest web building platform I am aware of. Students used the Google Ninja program, designed and shared by Jeff Utecht, one of my new heroes, to advance their understanding of effective search strategies and verifying sources, as well as Google Drive to enhance their capacity for our online collaboration. Students embedded YouTube videos and other source materials, including GoAnimate, to better communicate their points to their audience of students the world over. The GoAnimate actually gave them a chance to create some more original work as well as convey the work they learned from others in a more creative and original format. When I shared another school's GoAnimate about the Google Ninja program, and I told my class I wanted them to produce similar work, some balked, but in a way that said, hey, show us how. They were obviously interested. Our use of a Google spreadsheet on our ICT at Disk website to help everyone keep up is working, and there are, of course, still those who need more support than others, but they are learning how to do it. The personal touches have made a big difference here. Some students really took to the idea of getting to know their counterparts at New International School Thailand better through their blogs and shared openly, asking questions to find out more about them. The Skype, what a huge success. The English teacher actually thanked me for having done this, as it led to a really meaningful discussion in her class about peer pressure, identity, and cultural influences on personality, outcomes and evidence of learning.
Guess what, Bob? Grade 8 are making a website in IT class. Oh, that's so interesting. Do you want to know what the website's about? It's about internet safety. Oh, that's so interesting. Do you want to know why grade 8 are doing this? It's to help people realize the dangers on the internet. It's also to help other people prevent and avoid these dangers. Oh, that's so interesting. Do you want to know who it's for? It's for anyone who's on the internet.
Outcomes. Well, we talked about this a little earlier, creativity and innovation, creating original works. I think I've demonstrated that. The website itself is completely self-created, based on research students have found. And then we're not done yet. This is where I have to extrapolate. It will also offer evidence of how deeply they've come to understand the concepts of digital citizenship, about respecting the rights of others, about protecting themselves and other people online. The Go Animate is a good example of how students have been creating. Communication and collaboration, it's been great, the interaction and collaboration and the sharing of research with our flat classmates through Google Docs, through blogging, through the emails that some of them have actually started. And finally, digital citizenship. Now this is the part that really will have to wait. I'm not at a point where I can say anything about assessing this. This is further down the road for us. Reflection. What would I do differently? As I do my best to model reflective planning for my students, in fact this was key to our first unit question, I like to explain to them why I put our lessons up as I do just before, not weeks in advance, because I'm using formative assessments, because I'm thinking about what I'm doing just as we do in the design cycle, and I'm going back and tweaking it to make it better based on new information. I suppose, in retrospect, this leads me to what I could work on for the next time. Perhaps this is some of the reason that we had some slight difficulty keeping up with the planning back and forth for the flat classroom. I tell you, we're doing a flat classroom, but it's very limited. The school in Jesse Scott at Two-Way Stairs on Twitter is studying similar content, but they're producing something to do with Scratch, whereas we're producing websites. So later on, what's going to happen is we will be sharing rubrics and having our students do online peer assessments and feeding back to each other before the final assessment. So what I would do differently if I do a flat classroom again, absolutely, I would get myself ridiculously organized ahead of time. Sharing, this part's easy. As a teacher trainer here at the show, I'm going to share this video with them at the beginning. Another hook to get people. My greatest learning in Coattail. If I had to choose my biggest lesson, I don't think it would be the Samir model, as wonderful as it is. I think it would be this. Redefinition, or as I like to say, Sammy it up. We have to mix it up. There's nothing that you can do that your students can't get started on learning to do for themselves. I'll even go you one further. Give them the chance and I guarantee they will teach you something. The whole idea behind redefinition is to make what we do with technology as worthwhile as possible. It's not just a set of isolated skills. It's about doing new things. It's about doing old things better. It's about what can we do next? Creativity. Well, this takes me to the end here. I believe I've made the argument that I've crashed through enhancement and achieved transformation for my students. Not just a task redesign, but actually doing things that could never have been done before. I can't imagine even, I don't want to put a year value on it, not that long ago, a group of middle school students producing content that could potentially be accessed by students the world over, helping them to protect themselves and learn how to behave more responsibly. Thank you for your time. It's been great. I may now have time to take you through a few of the websites that I've made recently.